Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us with the Creative Dealmaker Masterclass. I'm Nick, the Note Guy Legamar. I'm with Eric Sage, and we are so excited to spend a few minutes covering what the masterclass is and training is really all about. First about me is that I've literally done over 700 creative financing deals, Eric.
Mhm.
I love low equity, no equity, and negative equity deals. 1,100 transactions since the early 2000s, and I know you have a fairly similar uh, backstory in history.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. So, the we just a little background about me. I've been buying and selling properties full time since 2004. So I left corporate America and was blessed to get into the actually find a mentor and start buying real estate. And so, majority of my properties when I first started was creative financing. And so, after years of fix and flipping, wholesaling, splitting land and doing different things, I really, really loved and learning about and becoming the bank. And
Uh-huh.
so this is why we created this program. And so after years and years and years of banging my head up against the wall, I really enjoy where I fit in was being the bank, and that's why we created this program, Nick.
100%. I think really what hopefully we can share and we can show is not only the successes that we've had,
Hmm.
but I don't really want to call them failures because they really weren't technically or literally failures,
Yeah.
but opportunities that were lost because
Yes.
we didn't know, right?
Yeah.
And now this collectively 50 almost 50 years of experience and thousands of transactions, hopefully that can help the members that join the ability to accelerate their learning curve through this whole model, which
Yep.
is so critical as we move out of this moratorium on evictions and forbearance and get away from the COVID environment that we've been dealing with
Right.
for the last time. So, really, why did we create this class? And for me, it's pretty simple. It's really to help you become a deal maker, right? This is the
Right.
whole name of it. And it's through the collaboration of others, right? I mean, the ability to collaborate with other like minded individuals. And that's what we're going to show and we're going to talk about. So, the opportunity really is pretty simple to me. Okay. And I want to be able to show how to generate infinite return on investment, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
we can do that with almost zero risk
Yep.
and almost no cash, right? And the concept is, and there's other strategies, right?
Yeah.
But the uniqueness of this strategy is how to generate cash now, monthly cash flow, and then cash later in a lump sum payout, and then the deal after the deal, which
Right.
was in the class and in the training, but we're not going to get into detail on that specifically there. So how do we be? How do you be the bank? Right? How do you learn what the bank does? How do you learn to act and be the bank? And it's really about control versus owning.
Yep.
Right? It's being a
That's what
lien
we love
lord
about it.
and not a landlord. And what Warren Buffett's one of my favorite guys, and I always got a couple of quotes I like to throw out. And here are the three my favorite quotes. Okay, number one, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Right. So,
Right.
and I think that's really important to remember as you're understanding this program and this process, and really what the true value is, and if you can even put a dollar value on it, really, Eric. I mean,
Right.
the amount of money people have made and will continue to make implementing these strategies is life changing, let alone a lot.
Right. That's why we
Then,
created
and
it.
then the second thing is risk comes from not knowing what you are doing,
Yeah.
right? Guess what? We're teaching them how to do it, right? I
Yep.
mean, that's the whole point of this masterclass is to learn from what you and I have done,
Yep.
and take that and use it in their business, whether they're a wholesaler or a buy and hold investor or landlord
Yep.
or fix and flipper. And then my favorite quote of all from Warren Buffett is, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die.
That's
Right?
right.
It's like, I
Yeah.
love that one. And it's so true. But most people do not think of that,
Hmm.
right? Because they get up and they go to the 9 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. They wait and get their 2 weeks of vacation every year, and they get a gold Rolex maybe when they retire when they're 30 years old.
That's right.
But it's just a mind shift and going. So, Eric, do me a favor and just sort of explain what the real demand is for what we do and the need for creative financing in the general landscape of America, for lack of better
Well,
words.
right now there's a massive shift in the market. There's a condition, the market conditions for all the forbearances that are going on with the bank, on the bank underwriting conditions. So if you feel like it's easier now to get bank financing,
Well, it's definitely cheaper,
it's cheaper,
but is it easier?
but it's not as easy as you think it is. And so like right now, so if you have, you look at a borrow profile today, and go out 6 months from now, what is it? How easy is it going to be for them to get a loan?
They change the rules all the time in the middle of the game.
Yep.
And that's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be the first to raise my hand. I cannot go get a traditional bank loan
because you're self-employed, and
I have multiple companies. I get dividends. I get a bunch of stuff. I could have 5 times the amount of cash in the bank to go purchase it for cash. And they still won't give me the loan.
Right.
But that's the challenge that a lot of buyers have in today's market.
So we don't have the statistics to the number, but if you go out there and look for the homes that are for sale, okay,
right,
we have people that are looking for properties, but how many of those people can actually qualify? So up to 70% of the people looking for properties can't even qualify for a loan. Doesn't mean they're not great borrowers. They're just not going to get a bank loan from a traditional bank,
right. And that's a problem.
Oh, that's a huge problem. I mean,
think of how many people are entrepreneurs now that weren't even 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep.
There's just a whole paradigm shift in the way they do it. Unless the banks change the way they underwrite buyers, there's going to be a huge opportunity for creative financing in the landscape that we're talking about.
Right.
now.
I mean, so what our goal is, and what we do is we talk about how to be the bank, and how to create opportunities for people that need bank loans. So we love helping hardworking families obtain homeownership, which is the American dream, without having to go through a traditional bank model, right? They're great borrowers. They have good down payment. They can show they can prove the payment, but we're in a business of creating that opportunity. So right now in the creative financing, seller financing, private banking world, it's a $25 billion opportunity right now. So there's $25 billion of private money out there that mom and pop investors have created. But here's the thing, not all of them are done the right way.
And that's what we're going to show in the class, right?
Show you. So
because it's the value of the note you create is extremely related.
How you structure it and paper it the right way makes that deal. So Nick, we one of the reasons we created this program is you've been doing this for a long time. You've did 700, you say 700 deals. I think you've done closer to 1,000.
Stop counting.
And so one of the things we were talking about is you would buy a property, create a mortgage, and then you would sell it at a discount, and you left so much money on the table by selling the one note as a discount versus making 2 notes, which we can go into more detail, but we figured it out in just a very conservative model over about a 6 or 7 year, 5-year period. You left about $6 million on the table for you and your family and your estate.
Yeah, please don't say that again.
Now keep in mind, it doesn't mean that you didn't make money, because you did.
No, we made a lot of money, actually.
But what you did is you made some of the other people even more money.
100%.
And so that's why we created this model and restructured how we do it now, to where it creates little to no risk on creating these deals, if that's the way you want to go.
Yeah, and I think why is that important to the deal makers, the people that are coming and actually going to do deals? Because this is about doing deals, period. So this is not about talking about doing deals.
Yeah.
This is about actually getting in and getting deals done, getting paid for them, and doing them again.
So Nick, who would this who would this course be for?
Yeah, right, I mean, I don't think it's as much for a newbie investor, because you have to understand how to get a deal, right? But if you do understand how to get deal flow, and you're able to do it, this is a great model and a strategy for wholesalers.
Yeah.
Because we know the wholesaler model is very simple. If you're a really good wholesaler, you might get 20% conversion.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I asked the question to the wholesalers all the time. We have a bunch of wholesalers that are nationwide wholesalers. And I go, well, that's great, but what happened to the other 80%?
Yeah.
That's the opportunity for wholesalers, is the other 80% of the dead deals, or the deals that they can't get the seller to say yes to their cash offer, when they should be figuring out a way to get to the seller's asking price.
But real quick, regarding the wholesalers, they're very transactional.
100%.
They have to wake up every Monday morning, go over their numbers, and do another deal. Right?
100%.
Who else is this good for?
I think it's great for landlords, tired landlords, especially in the post-COVID environment. If we've learned one thing from being a real estate investor, I don't care if properties are going up in value or not, but if you're not getting paid, it doesn't make flip a difference. And I think we've learned that who knows? I mean, they just extended the eviction moratorium again,
Yeah.
and they'll probably do it again and
So our
again and again and
we
again.
know our note borrowers, our borrowers who have home ownership and lots of equity, they're the ones paying their bills right
Well,
now.
let me
They're not
say
making
this.
excuses.
This is we talk about being the bank, right?
Yep.
We talk about control versus owning. Let me say this probably twice. Banks always get paid.
Yep.
Okay. Banks always get paid. And what do I mean by that? It means that they might not get paid today.
Yep.
They might not get paid tomorrow. They might have to wait 6 months to get paid, but they will always get paid because of why?
Because they have the lien on the
They
property.
have the lien on the property and their investment is secured by that real estate.
Right.
So if the borrower doesn't pay and you can't do cash for keys or deed in lieu or whatever it
You
is,
just wait.
you just have to wait.
Yep.
And your investment that you made in that borrower is protected by the asset, assuming you do everything we just talked about and underwrite it correctly.
And with that, we kind of teach you a program to where while you're waiting, you're not having to pay a bunch of money. What's the last one that you
I think this is a great model for fix and flippers.
Yep.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, fix and flippers, it's a very transactional business.
Yep.
We can show fix and flippers how to get cash now, cash flow, and get cash later.
And that's one of the things. A lot of our fix and flippers are transactional. So when they sell the property, what do they have to do? Go buy another property. Well, we figured out a model to where when they sell it, they get to stay in the deal and get cash flow as well.
100%. With little to no risk.
So also this is really good for note buyers. So people that are already buying mortgages,
right?
We're teaching our students how to create a note to where a note buyer would really want it at the top value. All those obviously private lenders, people that are out there lending money to investors, fix and flippers, other business opportunities. And it's also for long-term alternative investments rather than the stock market, right?
Yeah.
So you also got your individual retirement accounts, your IRAs, your HSA accounts, your 401ks. What we're doing is we're teaching people how to secure their retirement money against a piece of property and get monthly and long-term cash flow without having to manage and deal with the property, right?
Yeah, I think that's really, really important to understand. Even private lenders don't really understand the concept of this.
Right.
You know, it's one thing to lend money at 12%, but if you're not lending it 100% of the time, are you really making 12%?
No.
And the other challenge with hard money lending or short-term lending, it's very speculative, right? Yeah. You're assuming and you're hoping that the borrower, the investor borrower is able to perform, and you're not going to take that property back. Right. So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of due diligence, right? And this is all part of the training modules as well, and proper note structuring, right? We talked about how big the seller carry market is, about $25 billion a year.
Yep.
But I also think that's can be a $25 billion mistake
because $25 million opportunity.
Yes, because we have the opportunity to go in and buy those notes at a discount. Yep. Because they don't underwrite it correctly. They don't use a third-party servicing company to service the note, for example, or they don't use an RMLO, which is a residential mortgage loan originator, or just an MLO to actually vet and underwrite the borrower. Right. Okay. Those are all just best business practices, right? And at the end of the day, we want to write notes that are very desirable to financial institutions, right? Mm-hmm. Even though, because a lot of banks love to buy our notes, but they can't go create them, right? Yep. Because they're in a different box. Yeah, they have to play by a different set of rules than we do as basically small cap lenders, is which we are. So, but the cool thing about this is we're going to help build the teams, help them build the creative deal makers that come on board. They help them build their teams with a bunch of experts and allow them to get more deals done. That's what this is all about. Yeah, this is all about outsourcing and leveraging. We've built a resource and a team of experts that allows us to take that deal from acquisition to disposition in a very streamlined, efficient thing. So tell what's in the training. All right, let's talk about what's in the training.
So Nick, what are the creative deal makers going to get in this training?
Well, I think the first thing we're going to teach them is how to find the perfect creative financing deal, right? Yep. Not the best real estate deal, but the best deal for creative financing. We have a model and we call it the 75% rule, and they'll learn about that inside the training. We're also going to identify the difference between retail value and what the owner finance value is on their properties. And then we're going to discuss also what the true power of amortization is, the dual amortization of running when you're on dual amortization schedules. And then the the best part about it is discovering the hidden profits in the deal, like the deal after the deal, the stuff
Yep.
that's hidden that you don't even see unless you structure it out and you look at it moving forward.
Once I really went into detail on the amortization, it changed the way I think about owning real estate versus being the bank.
Uh-huh.
We're also going to teach you how to determine the property values outside your local market, determine the best exit strategy. Do you fix and flip it? Do you buy and hold it versus being the bank? Also, the thing that I love the most is the case studies that we do. It's called our deal or no deal analysis breakdowns on real deals that we're working on every week. So our deal makers, creative deal makers in our
Sure.
community, in our Facebook group and different communities, we bring those deals in and we go through them and we come up with strategies for each deal. And then you can try to rinse and repeat. What else are you going to get?
Well, I think it's not as much fun. It's not as sexy as making the money and getting the deals done, but it's all really about systems and processes, right?
Right.
The ability to build your business to run efficiently and
Mhm.
with velocity. And we've built that over doing literally hundreds and hundreds of transactions to build a step by step system
Yep.
that allows you to plug in and and manage that transaction from acquisition to disposition. And the other thing is our profit calculators. We have different profit calculators, and that's really to help you correctly analyze potential profits using an as-is model versus a reno or a rehab model. And the numbers visually are quite astounding what they can be when you actually compare the two together.
It's amazing when you did it. When we've done it, we've talked about selling it for quite a bit less, but sell it quicker and starting over and doing velocity is where it's amazing. So also, we're going to talk about how to fund the acquisition. Like, how do you buy it? What if you don't have any money?
Yeah.
How do you structure that deal? How to quickly find the right buyer, to underwrite and exit out of the property in only a few days.
Yeah.
It's amazing the amount of people out there that need and deserve home ownership, and we have a system in order to find those people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. I mean, I think just to recap, it's like this is the Creative Deal Maker Masterclass, right? And this
Yep.
is really for experienced real estate investors that can come from a different line. They can be, we talked about it. They can be wholesalers. They can be private lenders. They can be uh, fix and
Landlords.
flippers, landlords,
Yep.
buy and hold, whatever.
Yep.
And we're going to show them how to generate infinite ROI with almost zero risk and zero cash out of pocket. And as a result of that, generate cash now,
Yep.
cash flow in monthly cash flow,
Yep.
and then cash later in a lump sum payout. And we're going to show them how to do it, how we've done it many times. And that's it, man. And I think hopefully everybody will see the value in what we have to offer. And this is about getting deals done, Eric. And it's about, taking opportunities that you can't monetize and get done right now, integrating our systems and our applications and going and getting cash now, cash flow, and cash later. It's
Yeah,
that
it's
simple.
awesome. So we love. We're glad you came in here. So click the button now to become a creative deal maker, and we look forward to seeing you on the other side. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.